So our evening classes, I try to make a little bit more calming, relaxing, and restoring, which will be the case tonight. The props that may be useful for you are a blanket and or a bolster in case your knees are okay with a regular pigeon pose, but I'll show a modification, and maybe another place or two, but that's about it. We will start in sitting though tonight. So when you find that seated position that can give you that aligned spine, use those muscles of your core to hold you upright, but relax the muscles of your face, your shoulders. Find and follow the rhythm of your breath. There's a quote I read earlier, seen before, and I love it. How beautiful it is to do nothing and rest afterwards. And now as you continue to follow the rhythm of your breath, if you'd like to set an intention for your practice tonight, you can choose that now, and it may be something as simple as resting or calmness. I am calm. Seal that intention. You can bring the palms together at heart center and gently draw your chin in towards your throat. And then bringing the head back up to a neutral position and softly opening your eyes. You can relax the hands down either to your knees or to your side. And we're going to just start with the shoulders by inhaling as we squeeze them up near the ears. And exhale, roll them back and down. Again, inhale, lift them up and squeeze out tension. Exhale, release them back and down. Do that one more time. Inhale, lift. Exhale, release. And hands back at heart center. Take an inhale here. This is one I love to do. As you know, exhale, press the palms out. We'll change it up a little. Exhale, round the back. Inhale, lift the arms up to the sky. As you exhale, release your left hand behind you and your right hand to your left knee. Inhale to lengthen and exhale to gently twist. We're going to stay here in this twist for a few rounds of breath. Stay where you are for one more full round of breath. As you inhale, you can just look back to center and exhale, hands to heart center. We'll do the same thing moving to the opposite side. Inhale first here. Exhale, press the palms out. Inhale, lift up. And exhale, right hand goes behind you, left hand to the right knee. Inhale, lengthen the spine, open the heart center. And exhale, gently twist. Try not to lean forward or back. Collarbones parallel to your mat. Inhale, gaze back to the front. And exhale, come all the way forward. And then moving into the area of our neck, we'll start by just dropping our chin down towards our chest, keeping the shoulders back. Breathe into that space between the base of your skull and the tops of your shoulder blades. Gently roll to the right so that your right ear lands closer to your right shoulder, creating a nice side stretch on the left side of your neck. Draw the chin in towards your throat. Rotate your gaze so you're looking outside the right thigh. You could even press your left hand into the mat. And for even a little deeper, you could take your right hand, gently pressing the back of your head. Release your hand from your head. Roll your head back to center and down. And then inhale, bringing it up. Take an inhale here. Exhale, chin back to the chest. Roll it over towards the left. Keep the right shoulder down. You can even here kind of actively press your right hand into the mat a bit, elbow bent. And then draw the chin in towards your throat, rotate a little bit. Bring in the stretch along the upper traps, right side of your neck, more towards the back. If you want a little extra, you can use your hand. Release the hand down and bring the head back to forward and center, and then up. And then moving into the side body, excuse me, left hand stays down on you. Inhale, just reach the right hand up. Exhale, you can walk the left hand out a little bit, bend the elbow and reach across with that right arm. Maybe gaze down if that feels better to your neck. Inhale, come back up to center with your arm and body, and exhale the right hand down. Inhale, left arm up. Exhale over to the right. Inhale back to center and exhale that hand down. Making your way onto hands and knees. Gonna get into the spine and the shoulders. Cushion your knees if you'd like. We won't be here long on our wrists. So starting in that regular hands and knees position, you can move through cat-cow. You can move side to side. Just kind of explore movement through your spine however you'd like to right now. Depending on what you've done today, you may need to hold a particular position a little bit with your breath, totally fine. Make your way back to a neutral and center position. And we'll get into our shoulders by taking the left arm up to the sky. You could follow the thumb with your gaze if you'd like. Exhale, it's gonna go behind your right wrist, bringing your shoulder and left ear toward the mat. You could stay right there, or you could walk the right hand out in front of you. Some of you may even enjoy taking that right hand over and around, kind of hooking the hand to the top front of your left thigh. Take your right hand back underneath your shoulder area and press through it to come back up as you bring the left hand up again on your inhale and exhale to the mat. Repeating on the other side. Inhale, lift the right hand high. Exhale behind the left wrist, bringing right shoulder and ear towards the mat. You can stay there or walk the left hand forward. And you could stay there or bring the left arm over around the back to find the front of your right thigh. Draw the shoulder back. Full breaths. From wherever you are, bring the left hand back near the shoulder area and press through it to come back up as you take the right hand to the sky on your inhale and exhale back down. I'm gonna do this one more time. You can stay with the exact same way we did it, but I want to show you a leg option that I enjoy. So we'll go back to leading with our left hand. And so you can experiment with extending your right leg beside you. I'm going to show you with my left because you can't really see. Just got it straight out from my hip, pressing into the outer blade of that foot. And you can see how this is going to bring a little bit into your right inner thigh. You can always bring it back to this position if you'd like. But inhale, lift the left hand up if you want to try it with the leg out. Otherwise, just how you were before, and then bring it through. Walk the right hand forward. Slide the right hand back. Come all the way back up. And exhale that hand down. Bring the right knee back in. We're going to do the same side with the left leg out. You'll feel a little different. Left hand reaches up. Exhale behind the right wrist. I like to go ahead and walk that right arm forward, but you certainly don't have to. And breathe into all the areas that need that stretch. See what area is drawing more of your attention, but stay free of pain by coming out of it or returning to the original position in hands and knees. Slide the right hand back and push through it to bring the left arm up and bring hand and knee back. Just doing the same thing on the other side. We'll be finished with all wrist things for a bit. So right leg out, right hand high. Exhale, bringing it behind the left wrist and walking the left hand forward. And slide the left hand back. Press through it to bring the right hand up. Exhale, right hand back, right knee back. So now extending the left leg out. We'll do the same thing again. So reach up with that right arm and exhale, bring it through. Wait, did I just do that? Sorry. Left hand up and behind the right arm. I think I'm confused. So maybe you know what you're doing. That's good. Bring the right hand back, left hand to the sky, and both knee and hands back. So we're going to move into a seated position, so you can just cross the ankles and walk your hips behind your feet and then scoot a little bit more forward. And you can take the legs straight out in front or use a bolster or blanket underneath and just find your sit bones, hands by your sides, relaxing the shoulders and lengthening your spine. Take a couple of rounds of breath here. And moving into Janu Shavasana, on the left side, we're going to bring that left leg up, open it out to the side, rotating the pelvis towards the right leg so you're squared forward. Take an inhale, extend the arms up, and exhale, you can come forward to the leg or the foot. Take another inhale to draw away from it and realign, and then exhale slowly into your forward fold. So a little more restorative tonight. I'm okay with a little bit of roundness through your back, but play that fine line. I'm going to focus more on getting that stretch behind my leg. But just listen to your back. If it's been working too hard, then maybe allow for a little more relaxation through it in this pose tonight. Just move slowly into and out of it. One more full breath here. On your next inhalation, just start to lift the torso up, slide the hands back, bring the left knee up, extend it out. We're just going to do the same pose on the other side. So right heel in close, powerful straight knee and toes to the sky on the left. Exhale, right knee out. Sole of the foot to the left inner thigh, lengthening as you inhale, and staying aligned as you exhale forward. Realigning on your next breath in, and then exhaling into your full expression of the pose, softening through the face. They say fear is stored behind our knees. And so this pose and other poses like downward dog that stretch the muscles along the back of the leg can help kind of release some of that fear, that energy that is stuck. So just observe any emotions that come up, any colors, any vibration. On your next breath in, go ahead and bring your torso up. And as you exhale, right knee to the sky and both legs forward. Finding that aligned spine, we'll now move into Paschimottanasana with both legs forward. Feel free to support under the knees with your bolster or blanket. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, slowly hinging at the hip joints, chest towards the shins, shoulders away from ears and the mat. Stay here for another breath in. And on your next exhale, slowly melt a little bit closer to the legs. So allow for a little less alignment cues on Wednesday nights, so don't have to hear me quite so much. Few more rounds of breath here. Feel free to relax the back of your neck and rounding just a little bit more now. And on your next breath in, slide the hands back. If you'd like to, and press through them to come all the way back up. And relax the shoulders. So we're going to move towards pigeon pose, get into the hips. I would demonstrate that, but if you already know that your knees have issues, then you're going to probably prefer to just come to your back and do a figure four pose. So demonstrate that first. Figure four pose, as a reminder, is just to come down onto your back. You can use your hands to help you. And once you're there, we'll begin either pose with the right leg. So you'll want to bring the right knee in. Make sure the ankle is bent just like that. Keep it bent just like that. Rotate the knee out to the side so the ankle lands on your your left thigh. And then you can just thread your right hand between the two legs. Bring your left knee towards you. And then the hands can meet behind your left thigh. Head and shoulders should stay down. And you can bring the knee in as much as you need to, feeling a stretch along the hip musculature of the right side. Okay. And then you'll just stay here before going to the other side, maybe even doing a bridge pose in between. For my pigeon pose folks, I want to show you that one too first. We'll be making our way into hands and knees. And instead of going into a full downward dog, we can just lift our knees up. For the right side, same thing. Knee comes to chest, ankle is bent. Knee rotates out to the side, lands behind my right wrist. I'm now on the side of my shin and the outer part of my right foot. I start sliding my left leg back, making sure that my right knee is okay with this. Still have that bent ankle, very important. Walk the hands in, check in with the knee. Want to be careful not to roll over to that side. So I should show you my left side because that's not only tighter, but you can see better what I'm going to demonstrate. My face you. So if my hip was crazy loose, I might have my shin more parallel to the front edge of the mat. It's not. Ankle still bent, but legs at a diagonal. Slide that right leg back. Rather than just get my hip to the ground by rolling over to the side, I can't take that out from underneath JoJo, but I would take that blanket and I would just put it underneath my left hip. That's going to allow me to settle into the pose without compromising the structures inside my knee, okay? So if you start moving into this pose, you're like, yeah, I don't know. Don't go too far. Just go into your back and do figure four. All right, so with that being said, those that would like to join me in pigeon pose, come into hands and knees. Can tuck the toes under, lift the knees a bit. Right knee to chest, rotate the knee out to the side. Place that foot where you need to, ankle still bent. Start to slide the left leg back. If you're on your back, you're doing the right side. And then make sure that you're relaxing through shoulders and head, regardless of which one you're doing. From pigeon, I sometimes just like to bring my forehead to the mat and walk my hands out in front into a prayer pose. So we'll be here for just a little bit and recognize that the first few moments, your body may resist a little bit. If it's resisting because you have knee pain, then back out of it. If it's resisting because there is emotional baggage or just a little bit of fear, then use that slow, deep breath to guide you slowly into surrendering to the pose. And breath by breath, see if you can feel those muscles start to release their grip from the bones. Sensation of energy that's been stuck, now released, able to explore and do what it needs to do. The knees store fear, the hips store just general emotional stuff. So I've been holding back, avoiding some situation. Sometimes the emotions of that can come up in this pose, and that's, in my opinion, fantastic. You're okay with just opening up and let it happen and just observe it without judgment. Just a few more breaths here. If you're in pigeon pose, you can start to lift your head and walk the hands back in. If you're on your back, just uncross the legs. You could choose to go up into a brief bridge. If you're in pigeon, maybe just stay here for a moment and notice if that left thigh is craving a stretch. You could gently reach back, find that ankle, and maybe pull it in just a little bit. And then release that foot if you had it. If you're on your back, you can start to set up for the other side. And if you're in regular pigeon, just tuck the left toes under to lift that knee off the mat. And then bring your right foot back to meet it. You're in a plank pose. We're just going to go into a modified upward dog. Toes stay tucked under. Just dropping those hips forward and up a bit to get that stretch. And then come back to kind of a hovering down hands and knees to bring that left knee in, ankle bent, knee behind the left wrist over to the side, not in the middle, and start to slide back. If you're on your back, just go ahead and move into the pose. Make your adjustments along the way. You feel that first place of resistance, just pause there and breathe. Check that you're not rolling over to the left, but staying up on top of that right thigh if you're in regular pigeon. And start to surrender, relaxing the face, the shoulders. The muscles around the hip as you sink towards the mat. If you've done this pose many times, and you feel like you need a little more, it can sometimes help to decide to tuck the right toes under, lift the knee, and try to scoot that kneecap back a little bit towards the back edge of your mat for a moment. And then release the top of the foot back down. So back to observing without judgment. Maybe there's differences on the side and sensation or emotions. Use your breath as a vehicle to send it calmness. Being steady and at ease. And then if you're in full pigeon, you can start to lift your head and walk the hands in. If you're on your back, you can release that leg and maybe just go into a brief bridge here. If you'd like, we could reach back for the right ankle and bring the foot towards your body just a little bit. And release the foot, release from your bridge. If you're in pigeon, just bring that right leg all the way around. We're going to be coming down to our back. So if you're already there, you don't need to change anything. If you think you're going to need blankets or bolsters for your Shavasana, just go ahead and bring them within reach. And then we'll just pigeon pose, folks. Just come on down to your back. And once you're there, extend through the legs and the arms behind you. Reach through fingers and toes. And as you exhale, bring the arms around to hug the knees into your chest. Bring the forehead towards your knees. Release the head back down. Keep the right knee in, extend the left leg long. Circle out the right ankle. both directions. Wiggle the toes. Take that same right knee and just move it slightly out to the right and down towards your right armpit. Hold it there with head and shoulders down on your mat. Bring it back to center and release that foot to the mat. Keep that foot where it is as you bring the left knee in. And then you can extend the right leg out. Circle the left ankle in both directions. And move the toes around. And then keeping the knee close to you, just bring it slightly over and down towards the left armpit. Bring it back to center and have the right knee join it again as you hug both knees in. Bring the feet more towards the sky and the knees a little bit wider to move into happy baby. So holding the soles of your feet and encouraging the knees towards the mat on each side of your body. And if you'd like to roll side to side, you could. If you want to carefully extend the one leg out a little bit straighter, one at a time, you could do that. Bring both knees together. Knees will stay bent as the feet come to the mat. Allow the knees to open up, soles of the feet together, lengthen the low back. Place your right hand on your belly and your left hand near your heart, relaxing through the shoulders. And take a few rounds of breath here. And from Supta Baddha Konasana, bring the knees back together. I want to just finish with a spinal twist before moving into Shavasana. So knees back to chest, arms either straight out to the side or in goalpost position. Keeping the knees close to your body, inhale as you are, and exhale slowly, both knees glued together, landing somewhere on the left side of your body. And mount both shoulder blades into the mat, the option of gazing out to the right. Full deep breath still happening here. Inhale, head back to neutral, and then bring the knees there as well. If you need to, place the feet down to realign the spine, and the knees back up. And now they'll head to the right. Spread across the shoulder blades, and you can turn your head to the left if you'd like. Just squeezing out all the old fluids and tension from your back, the muscles that surround the spine, the discs between each bone of your spine, each vertebrae. On your inhale, head comes back to neutral, and then bring the knees. And then you get that rush of new energy and blood as the feet come to the mat, knees are bent. Arms can come by your side, a comfortable distance away from your body. So if you prefer your Shavasana to return to Supta Baddha Konasana, you could just open the knees, soles of the feet together. Otherwise, you can just extend them out into traditional Shavasana position. And then just adjust, close your body, whatever you need, so that in a moment, your body can remain completely still. All of that energy will be directed to restoration, rejuvenation, whatever needs to happen inside your body and mind to restore balance. The breath now will continue in and out through the nose, but no specific rhythm. You're just letting it find its own way. You're feeling all of the muscles become heavier. Just allowing themselves to be completely supported by the earth beneath you. You could, with your eyelids closed, kind of bring your awareness to a space between the eyes, up a bit and away from you a bit. Just allow yourself to happily enter the dark space where there's quiet and peace awaiting. You find your mind wandering and just following your breath. It's not working, then you can just use the phrase as you inhale, I am breathing in. And as you exhale, I am breathing out. Or you can breathe in, I am healthy. As you exhale, I am calm. We'll be here a little bit longer, so reconnect with your breath. Feel free to mute me and continue your Shavasana longer. If you're ready to move out of your Shavasana, you can start to bring your awareness back into your body and into your mat. Start to move some of the smaller muscles, maybe of your face, your fingers, your toes. And then you can move your wrists, your ankles. If you'd like to stretch the arms out overhead, squeeze the muscles against the bones, and then as you exhale, relax it again. And then you can bring one arm bent, the other arm by your side as you start to bend the knees, walk the feet in. And then roll onto your side, resting your head on your arm. And then make your way back to a seated position. Feel free to keep your eyes closed as you once more find the aligned spine that you started with. And just observe the state of your mind, your body, your breath. Any increased calmness or harmony amongst the three is there because you opened up and allowed it to happen. So now this state is a memory that you can choose to pull up at any moment when you need an increased state of calmness. Just reconnect with how you feel now, and you'll be there in a moment. If you'd like to, you can bring the palms back together at heart center. Recognize this important step that you took towards wellness, creating space and place for peace. Namaste. Thanks everyone that could be here. I really appreciate it. This can be your class in jammies.